Hey, this is Jonathan. I'm a huge Elvis Presley fan and CD collector. I want to show you a collection that I've been working on since I was 9 years old. I literally own hundreds of Elvis Presley material, all of his studio albums, concert performances, every RCA album that was released during his lifetime, plus all the reissues, box sets, and compilations that have been released since. So let's start with the three main box sets that every Elvis fan should have. If you're just starting your collection, these three sets were issued in the 90s. The first one is Elvis, the King of Rock and Roll. This is the complete 50s masters with every song that Elvis recorded in the studio in the 50s. The sound quality is excellent. This set sold millions of copies, a huge success. It even has some live concert recordings from the 50s. Even though the sound quality is not that great on those, it still is a great addition to your collection. You can find copies of all of these online for anywhere from $25 to $40 used. Then there's the 60s from Nashville to Memphis. This is the main studio songs that Elvis recorded, but it does not include the movie songs. And then the 70s, which is my personal favorite era of Elvis's career. It's called Walk a Mile in My Shoes, Essential 70s Masters, and it has the most important recordings, I think, of the 1970s. So that's the way to start your collection. And then let's go to the 50s, and we'll break this up in segments. Elvis started his career at Sun Studio in Memphis, Tennessee, under producer Sam Phillips. It was a little locally owned studio. It's a huge tourist attraction today. But Sunrise is a 2 CD set that includes all of his Sun recordings with That's All Right Mama, Blue Moon of Kentucky, the very first songs Elvis ever did in a studio, plus some live recordings from late 54, early 55. Or if you just want a 1 CD compilation, it would be Elvis at Sun. Then Elvis moved on to RCA in 1955, and the first album that was ever made in the RCA studio in New York City was Elvis Presley, and this was a million seller, and it was revolutionary because of the album art. There had never been an album issued with bright neon colored letters. Of course, it was marketed for teenagers, and boy, did they ever buy it up. And through the Follow That Dream series that you can buy from Graceland at shopelvis.com, they've reissued almost all of the albums that RCA released. Just to show you what the booklet looks like, they are high quality pictures, essays, all kinds of information for collectors, and every one of these in the Follow That Dream series has a nice booklet like that. Then Elvis's second album in 1956 was just simply entitled Elvis, and this includes Hound Dog, Don't Be Cruel, Blue Suede Shoes, Tutti Frutti, all of those. Great material. When we come to 1957, we have Loving You, which was his first movie soundtrack. It was his second film, but first movie soundtrack. That includes Teddy Bear, among others. His third movie was Jailhouse Rock, and it took 2 albums for Follow That Dream to get all of the material on, plus the original CD. Great songs on there. Baby, I Don't Care, Jailhouse Rock, Don't Leave Me Now. Also in 57 was Elvis's first Golden Records album, which was a compilation of many of the singles. This has All Shook Up, Love Me Tender, Heartbreak Hotel, Blue Suede Shoes, And of course that sold millions. Also in 1958, we had Elvis's second Gold Records album, Volume 2, where he's wearing the famous gold lame suit that he absolutely hated because it was so hot and heavy. It was entitled 50 Million Elvis Fans Can't Be Wrong. Great rock and roll, A Big Hunk of Love, I Got Stung, I Need Your Love Tonight. And of course, Elvis went into the Army in 1958, so Colonel Parker and RCA decided they were going to release a lot of material while he was gone, so to the fans it would seem like he had never left. King Creole came out in 58, which is considered by movie critics to be Elvis's best dramatic acting role. Great film with Carolyn Jones. Also, there's Elvis's Christmas album. This actually came out in 1957. Still sells big time today. It has sold, I think, something like 15 million copies since it was first released. Then there are other CDs that have alternate takes of this material. The Essential Elvis series, Volume 2 and Volume 3. Sound quality is great on those. Then in 59, there was 4 LP Fans Only and A Date with Elvis, a picture of Elvis in his Army uniform. And this was part of Colonel Parker's strategy to release albums. 4 LP Fans Only includes a lot of the original Sun material. And then we have the home recordings, which were just recorded on an old cassette player while he was in the Army in Germany. It's not professionally recorded. It's just Elvis singing, strumming a guitar. Sometimes you'll hear friends singing along with him, but there are some real gems. If you just want Elvis's voice any way you can get it, like me, you definitely want to get the home recordings as well. So this gives a pretty good overview of all of Elvis's 50s music. Again, start with the box set, The King of Rock and Roll.